If you are thinking about forming a limited company, you will want to get it right the first time. Keep watching to find out our 10 most common company formation mistakes and how to avoid them. Hi there, I'm Chloe Zaytunian here from Rapid Formations, the UK's leading company formation agent. The company formation process in the UK is relatively straightforward, but it's easy to make mistakes that may cause your application to be rejected or require correction after incorporation. Based on our extensive experience, we reveal the 10 most common company formation mistakes and how you can avoid them. So let's get started with number 1, choosing a company name that's already in use. Aside from having the power to make or break your business, your company name must comply with certain rules and restrictions. Before you start the company formation process, you must check that your company name is available to register. If it is identical or very similar to the name of an existing company, you cannot use it. It's also important to check that your proposed company name is not registered as a trademark. Companies House provides guidance on company name rules and restrictions, including sensitive words, so please take some time to look through this before completing your application form. Mistake number 2 is not providing supporting documentation for sensitive words. Certain words and expressions are considered sensitive when used in company names. If you want to include any sensitive words or expressions, you will usually have to provide supporting documentation from the necessary body with your company formation application. For example, if you want to form a company that includes the word bank, you will need written permission from the Financial Conduct Authority. Next up is setting up the wrong type of company. The most popular types of companies are limited by shares and limited by guarantee. Changing the legal structure of a business can be a complex and costly affair after company formation, so it's important to understand the differences between these types of companies to ensure that you choose the most appropriate one for your needs. A company limited by shares is the most popular company structure and is intended for those who want to operate a profit-making business, whereas a company limited by guarantee is most often used by people who want to run a non-profit organization, such as a charity, association, or cooperative. Moving on to number 4, inconsistencies and spelling mistakes. Something as simple as a typo or inconsistent spelling of names or words will cause your application to be rejected. For example, if you misspell your nationality, the anomaly will be picked up by Companies House. Some errors, such as misspelling the name of a director or providing the wrong date of birth, won't cause your application to be rejected because Companies House has no way of knowing that a mistake has been made. However, you will have to correct these details after incorporation to ensure that the information on the public record is accurate, which may not always be a straightforward affair. Number 5 is providing initials instead of full names. When entering the names of directors, company secretaries, shareholders, and people with significant control, you must enter everyone's full name, not their initials. For example, John Smith rather than J. Smith or John M. Smith. The next mistake to avoid is providing an unsuitable registered office address. The location of your company's registered office address must correspond with your chosen country of incorporation. If your company is incorporated in England and Wales, the registered office must be situated in England or Wales. If it is incorporated in Wales only, it must be situated in Wales. Likewise, if your company is registered in Scotland or Northern Ireland, the registered office must be in Scotland or Northern Ireland, respectively. Also, the address used as your registered office must be a physical postal address, as opposed to a PO Box number that can be verified through Royal Mail's postcode and address finder. Moving on to number 7, adopting the wrong articles of association. Most companies adopt model articles of association at incorporation, which is a default set of articles provided under the Companies Act of 2006. There are 3 different versions of model articles, one for private companies limited by shares, one for private companies limited by guarantee, and one for PLCs. If you select the wrong one for your company type, your application will be rejected. Model articles will not be suitable if you want to deviate from any of the standard provisions, including issuing multiple types of shares. In such instances, you will have to alter the model articles accordingly or create bespoke articles. If you do not select model articles, nor indicate that you wish to adopt altered or bespoke articles, and include a copy, your application will not be approved.